But to those people that are talking big out there, another thing to be conscious and careful of. This is a good transition into the very threatening true threats case just promoted by the Third Circuit. And if you look at what they put this guy in prison for many years, then you can see that a lot of people are making statements that sound. I would be careful about even Civil War references based on what they put him in prison for.
Let me see. I know I highlighted that section. It was a Muslim guy. I say that's only relevant for the case. Putting out, creating fake Twitter accounts of with the agent's emblem, but it was intended to not be passing off as them and saying cryptic things.
It's some created parody, satire. Like, you look at what he mostly did. They didn't identify any specific threat to any individual. Yet he's now in prison for many years on the grounds that he committed federal criminal terroristic threats to law enforcement. And the Third Circuit just affirmed his conviction. And for those that don't remember, the First Amendment says a true threat requires a serious intention. In other words, it can't be satire, can't be parody, can't be comedy. A serious intent to induce in another a serious likelihood of substantial bodily harm of that specific individual, with some degree of imminence required. You have to subjectively know, as well as it be objectively reasonable, that your activities would induce that response. And in this case, the kind of facts they used are some of the. I mean, there's some facts I get they try to make more nefarious than necessarily is. Like, okay, if I go by the FBI building, am I now surveilling the FBI building? Notice there's a lack of specificity there.
Well, let me read. So the guy's name was Khaled Mia. And just as by way of some of the examples, he was serving 6 years, from what I understand. September 2020, FBI agent, yada, yada, yada. Where was it? Okay, so they're getting him on his ideology. Here, listen to this. Mia created a Twitter account named after Agent Edquist's wife that contained pictures of her and personal information, including her approximate age, place of employment, education, and religion. The next day, agents executed a warrant. Mia admitted to creating tweets, but claimed...
So you create a satire account of an FBI agent's spouse to mock and make fun of that FBI agent, and they get a search warrant to raid your house the next day.
Well, I can imagine I wouldn't like seeing that. The question is what?
Oh, sure, but we don't get to go execute search warrants over everybody. I mean, I got people making Breaking Bad parodies of accounts of me. All the Ricada haters. And some of them are pretty funny and pretty good. So the trolls that are decent, I'll respect. You got to pay the toll to troll, but as long as you pay it well, then okay. But this is just, I mean, what they greenlit here was they said things like saying 0 hour approaching is a true threat.
Yeah, here we go. I got this. Says Nick, Dave.
Yellow tape flowing is a true threat.
The whole bureau, the deed will be done at a time which is the most opportunistic for me, chosen by myself. Currently eating pasta, watching videos of the second plane hit the South Tower.
Think about that statement. So, in other words, these are some of the most generic, bland statements you can make. And to say, oh, that's a true threat where we can raid your house and then lock you up for multiple years in federal prison. Yeah. And guess what else was used against him? You know what else is evidence of a true threat? If you refuse to cooperate when the FBI comes raiding your house. You know what else is evidence of a true threat according to the federal courts? Have you ever visited a gun range? Evidence of a true threat. Do you ever talk about guns and weapons? Evidence of a true threat. Have you ever done satirical accounts of government officials? Evidence of a true threat. I mean, I kept looking for, I was like, where's your class? To give you an idea for folks out there, a guy went to a Vietnam War protest, put up his gun. He'd been a trained sniper and said he has his what do you call it? Whatever you call the sniper thing.
Crosshair.
Yeah, in the crosshairs, LBJ. That he's going to use it next against LBJ. Supreme Court of the United States said that cannot constitute a true threat under the Constitution. That we have to allow a broad range for rhetoric. It's got to be, hey, by the way, tomorrow I'm coming to your house and I'm doing this, right? That I kept looking for that. They had none, zero, zilch, zunka, nada. It was just he's a scary Arab with scary Arab views, scary Muslim views, and and he didn't cooperate with us, and he made fun of us, and he likes to go visit gun ranges, and he used the kind of generic language you see all the time on social media. But for people out there, avoid that language, because it's clear they want to use this for their next wave of legal assaults.
I made the joke, that when Vivek was using the 1776 moment, it's only a matter of time before they criminalize that. I mean, in Canada, they were trying to criminalize hold the line as some sort of encouraging mischief, not true threat, but it's the same load of crap. It's obscene. So, and by the way, so that decision was affirmed for the most.
Yes. I mean, that's what's truly terrifying. I mean, hopefully those people run it up. The flagpole, maybe the Supreme Court will fix it, but it just gives you an idea of the danger. So I see a lot of people engaging in a lot of hot rhetoric out there that is very ill-advised. Just be very, very careful of it. You know, that's your greater area of concern than whether a DOD directive has something in it.
No, and
they already use this power to raid people's houses.
That's what I was going
to execute them.
They'll raid you at 6 a.m, knowing that you're blind and a borderline invalid, knowing that you're prone to react a certain way, and then execute you. And I that's why when I'm reading that directive, I was like, they've already been doing this. I didn't think they needed more permission to do it.